Here with six-year senior wide receiver Gavin Landry. Will take the field for the final time Saturday, or the Turpin Stadium field for the final time Saturday against HBU 305 kick. And Gavin, everyone has their own story about their playing career. Yours has maybe a few more twists and turns than anyone that's come through here recently, but 6 years. And how do you kind of encapsulate that as you head into your final home game?
I just got chills, thinking about it, just from the 6 years I've been here, like you said. And, like you said, everyone has a different story, but I think, for me to spend them all here, I think it's been, like you said, a crazy story from getting here and, having to film practice my first fall camp, and then running scout team during the week. And, that first fall I was here getting pulled up halfway through practice one day, getting asked to film, and, then going to special teams and running scout team, and, then ultimately to finally get on the field at receiver a little bit. But, I wasn't ready to play yet, was behind some older guys, and, just really couldn't catch that break that I needed as far as getting on the field at receiver, which, that's everyone's dream, is to play the position they come here to play. So, having to grind it out those first 3 years of special teams, and looking back to finally get put on scholarship in my fourth season after I won the starting job during fall camp, and, accomplishing childhood dreams, getting to play at LSU, getting to play at A&M, but, that same year, tearing my ACL halfway through, and, kind of just leaving my career up in the air as far as, what was going to happen, and going through surgery, going through rehab, fighting to get back, and then we get our season canceled, and it's just kind of like, what's next? But I don't know, just looking back on that and the COVID year, I think that time really put things into perspective for me from, a faith standpoint, just how I live my life, just being able to truly, I was away from the game, but, just being able to spend more time with my teammates, getting to know them better, becoming a better teammate, becoming a better man, and just, really changing my life for the better. And, I think that's a tribute to this game and, the lessons I've been able to learn since, I started playing when I was 12 years old, and, everything I've put into that since then has been, ultimately to do what I'm doing now. And, a lot of people look at it as work, but this was my childhood dream. I'm thankful for every day that I get to be out there, and I don't look at it as work. I look at it as an opportunity to play for the 12-year-old kid that fell in love with the game when I started playing in middle school. And it's definitely going to be special, to run out the purple smoke one last time. But I'm definitely thankful for the road I've walked, and just, having to persevere through all those things. And I think the lessons I learned during that time are going to pay dividends long after this game ends, and something I get to take with me into my daily life.
You've been part of this program for longer than some of the assistant coaches, but one guy that stood right next to you from the day you got here is Kendrick Price. You guys have shared a receiver room. You shared a lot of good and bad. You both were going through ACL rehab kind of around the same time. You went through it first. You were able to be there for each other. What's that bond like with him?
I definitely think me and KP's relationship is special. Just like you said, we came in together. Granted, he was on scholarship. He was here for first fall camp. I was filming, but he welcomed me with open arms since the day I've been here, and we clicked from the day we got here. So, to see everything we've been through, and the wins and losses, they come and go, but I think the relationship we've been able to build and establish is going to extend, kind of like those life lessons far past this game, and it's something I'm extremely thankful for, just looking back on. But I definitely think our relationship is special, just from, the Bible talks about iron sharpens iron, and I think that's a direct reflection of me and his relationship. Just me and him kind of, not going back and forth, but just holding each other accountable on little things, and making sure we're setting the standard, because, ultimately it starts at the top and works its way down. So, us two being two 6-year guys, getting to set that standard day in and day out, and how we practice, how we show up, and, our daily habits, our daily routine. I think, that's what makes our relationship special. And just to know that, we've been through the ACL together and everything that entailed, and, both of us struggling to get through it, and, the mental days where it's just tough and you feel like no one else is there, but, to have someone in your room that went through it that, you look at as a brother, I think that's special, and it's going to, like I said, extend far past us playing together here at NSU.
Let's talk about your heart. Let's go back to before you were here. There was a chance, I guess you may never had a chance to play college football because of that surgery. And what did that, you talked about changing your perspective. You got a dose of it even before you got here to Northwestern.
Definitely. So my senior year, getting diagnosed with ASD. Getting diagnosed with ASD, and kind of just putting things into perspective that, the game might end sooner than I thought it would, but we went on all my visits, and to have Coach Thomas, my dad told him the situation, that I was going to have the surgery, and, if things went well, that everything would be good to go and I'd be able to play. So, Coach Thomas, I'm thankful for him for, being okay with, the situation, and, but definitely looking back on it to, have someone take a chance on me, and me take a chance on myself to walk on here. I had Division II offers, but ultimately I felt like that I could play here at the Division I level. And I remember Coach Lockett, my senior year in the parking lot of Columns, telling me, you can play here. So to look back on that conversation and then to see where I'm at now, I think, it's a direct reflection of, everything I've been through here, and but definitely the hard thing, I think, just looking back on that and what I went through and having to overcome that. And not just my college career, but my high school sports career was almost cut short. And but thankfully, praise God, getting to finish my high school career and then ultimately getting here. And then the crazy thing, is to see that situation work out 3 years later to the date on the spring game when, I had the game of my life with 5 receptions, 100 and some yards and 2 touchdowns. And, to feel like at that time in my senior year when I was so, struggling with why this and why that and why me, and to know that God was working it out all that time and just basically saying, sit back and watch. It gives me chills to think about, but definitely just, and then, having that day and what it led to, I think that was a pinnacle of me getting put on scholarship and earning the starting job. So, I think just looking back on it all, it's definitely just humbling, and, to see God work all that out. I truly am blessed. And, like I said, I never in a million years when I had that conversation with Coach Lockett in the Collins parking lot did I feel like, I would be where I'm at now, but, definitely thankful and, thankful for everything I've been through.
We'll wrap up with this. Besides having to battle the emotions on Saturday, when you step away, when it does end, maybe when the clock hits 0 in here or a couple of weeks at McNeese, what do you want people to look back and kind of take from your 6 years here and your journey? If they're watching this video, what do you want them? What do you want to say to them, or what do you want them to kind of take from the road you've been on?
I think, when it,
these weren't softballs.
I think when it's all said and done, just to have my teammates be able to look back and, look at someone that did it the right way and, far from perfect, but, someone that always, controlled the things that I could control, was a leader, never was asking them to do something that I wouldn't ask myself to do, and just, showing up, working hard, trying to outwork everyone, being on time. Really just a guy that is in no reason really for them to just look at just an ordinary guy that's undersized, smaller than everyone, not as talented, but and has no reason to accomplish what I've been able to accomplish. But you know, just someone that showed up early, tried to outwork everyone, and just elevate everyone around him. I think one of my favorite parts that I'll miss once the cleats hang up is being a teammate, though. Just to have 114 other guys and coaches and players just, you know, depending on you, whether that's off season when you're not here or, you know, here in the game, whatever it might be, that, you know, they're depending on you to do a job and do it well. And, you know, to look back on everything I've been through and, you know, to when I finally do hang them up, that knowing that I stayed true to myself, stayed true to my teammates, didn't cut corners, just, you know, try to do it the right way, whether that was on the field, off the field, in the classroom, in the community, and just, you know, like I said, just an ordinary guy that has no business being in the situation I'm in, that, you know, through hard work and favoring God, that, you know, ultimately just to be in this position. And, you know, I think that's the biggest thing I want to remember, people to remember me as, is just, you know, that for those undersized guys and the guys under-recruited, that, you know, if he can do it, then I can do it. And I think that's my biggest example that I try to set, whether it's a walk-on here or, you know, an undersized guy that was just under-recruited, or, you know, people back home from my high school that, I mean, I went to a small high school. We were 1A, you know, people back home in the community at Plaquemine, White Castle, Baton Rouge area that, you know, see what I was able to do, and, you know, just have that belief in himself that if he can do it, I can do it. And, you know, hopefully I can just have some type of impact on that. And whether it's one person, 2 people, or 100 people, I think when I look back on it and reflect on it, I think, you know, I'll be able to hang my hat and, you know, be proud of what I was able to accomplish here, whether it was, you know, obviously it wasn't ever the stats that I always wanted, but, I mean, knowing that there's a way bigger impact that I can have than, you know, catching a few balls and scoring a few touchdowns, that the stuff I'm talking about is going to extend far past this game of football, and, you know, not help someone just win on the field, but, you know, in the game of life. And, yeah, I think that's definitely a summary of what I want to be remembered as.
All right, Gavin, thanks so much.
Yes, sir.